I'm going to mix up some BB Frösch chalk paint powder, and I like to mix it up in these little jars for a couple of reasons. Even if I buy my paint in a quart size, most projects only need this much anyway, and I really don't like to waste or have extra paint sitting around. So that's one of the reasons I mix it up in here. This also happens to be the same size as the sample jars from Home Depot or maybe your local hardware store, so it just pours in really nicely. So I am going to mix up this size. I only need 2 tablespoons of chalk paint powder. It's very, very fine. You can see right here. And I like to keep them heaping tablespoons. You really don't want to be chintzy on your chalk paint powder because that's where your bonding agent is. If you don't have enough chalk paint powder, then your paint is going to act like regular latex paint. That's what we're trying to avoid. So for every 2 tablespoons of chalk paint powder, I need about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of water. It's not an exact science, which makes it really nice because really all we're looking for is kind of a donut glaze consistency. So if you go to start mixing it up with your whisk and it seems a little pasty, add a little bit more water. Again, all we're looking for is just to get our chalk paint powder kind of constituted so that it will incorporate into our paint nicely. If we don't do it, it's kind of like gravy. If you've ever made gravy and you don't mix the cornstarch with or flour with water first, you kind of get lumps in your gravy, and we don't want that to happen with our chalk paint. So that's why we've got this nice little whisk. You can see there, just mix it around. As long as you've got it at least a little bit smooth, definitely not pasty anymore, then you're ready to pour your paint in. Now, actually, before I pour the paint in, I want to point out that if we were to let this sit out and let like in Las Vegas where I live, if I were to let this sit out before mixing paint into it and let the water evaporate, this would return to its original form, which means this is awesome because this means we're not having a chemical reaction, which is something that some of the other recipes may not include. That's an important feature of BB Frösch. But I'm ready to mix my I'm ready to mix my paint in, and because I'm using this 8-ounce size jar or a 1-cup jar, I don't have to use any measuring cups. I can just pour my paint right in here. This happens to be a Benjamin Moore paint. The color is Cameo Rose. It's one of my favorites. And I love, love, love Benjamin Moore paints. It's one of my favorites to work with. But once I've poured the paint in there, I want to pour it in so that I give myself a little bit of headroom so that I can shake my jar up. But if I'm looking here, I can see where my chalk paint powder mixture is below, and then my paint here. Once I've got the lid on, I just want to shake it up. And at this point, we're really just trying to get that mixture incorporated into our paint nice and smoothly. There's really no reason to have a big hand mixer. If we were going to mix it into a quart, we might want a hand mixer or a bigger whisk, but in these small containers, we're just looking until there's no more white on the bottom. That's how easy it is to mix up your own chalk paint.